Hello again, YouTubers. It's Topdeck Stu here, reporting from Warner's studio tour, or commonly known as the Harry Potter experience. Right, just I just thought I would just have a discussion about other road users' attitude towards coach drivers and bus drivers. I don't think there's a true appreciation of what it's actually like to drive a vehicle. Not so much the actual vehicle, the stress of maybe driving it, and passengers is obviously a separate issue, but I'm sure I'll cover that in this video as well. It's the manners of other road users, and I'm sure I don't, without exception, there are some very bad mannered bus driver and coach drivers on the road who maybe shouldn't be driving, or maybe that stressed, which could fair enough even be brought on by their company, because a lot of bigger operators, like like the stage coaches of this world and all them, they're all running to a timetable. They're pushing their drivers to the limits, especially I understand in London, where TfL penalises bus companies if they don't stick to a timetable, and everybody's under pressure, and that obviously unfortunately does create maybe some bad manners of driving on the road when maybe it's not actually meant to be, because of the stress of the job, and also the fact that they have to deal with really horrible passengers. I mean, Chris's Real Talk picked up on that, about the passengers that he's had on his buses in London who are very bad mannered. Now, bad manners, there's no excuse for it. Everybody's human. Someone's not just a bus driver or a coach driver. They're there to do a job, and they're providing a service to members of the public. They do it because they enjoy very often doing it and getting paid for it. And it's not, members of the public need to bear this in mind, that it's not a driver's fault if they're running late. It might be traffic, it could be a number of things, number of passengers on board. People need to understand that it's not all about them. That's unfortunately where society is today. People just forget that it's just me. However, people need to understand that bus drivers are human beings, and they should be treated with respect. Just a good morning or a good afternoon or a please or a thank you, I'm sure will go a long way. I suppose I'm really in a fortunate position that I drive coaches, which fortunately I don't get the people that moan because they have to get on a bus to go to work. I'm very fortunate in that people that I deal with very often choose to travel by a coach, or they could be school children because they're on a school bus, or that. But the other main area, going back to where we were talking about, is the road manners of other road users. The biggest thing that I have come across is people not understanding the length of a vehicle. If you take that left or right turn, just the same as any bus driver, I'm sure in London, I'm sure those that work for companies obviously are under contract for routes by TfL, like Topdeck, Anton, London Decker, and obviously the two northern bus drivers who drive, which I can't think for, and obviously bus driver Johnny and Man Buses up north, all those people up there, and also our man in Scotland as well. They all probably understand this. If you're doing a left or a right turn, you very often have to take up the whole of the road because of the length of your vehicle, and people don't seem to understand that. Maybe some understanding and some respect for them understanding of that. I mean, I did a school route on Friday with a coach, and it was very tight, in a very tight village, to get to this grammar school. And I come round the bend, and there's a couple of cars there, and there's a driver there that's expecting me to go back, and I just sat there with my hazards on. I got out and said, look, I can't go anywhere, and he was effing and jeffing and that. In the end, he sort of pulled over, and then I managed to manoeuvre around him. But there's people just don't get it. It's the same with HGV drivers. As I say, maybe we're going off a tangent here, but just remember, hopefully if any members of the public listen to this, that it's just treat our bus drivers and coach drivers with respect, because they're human beings, they're only doing a job. And also bear in mind the length of vehicles when they're turning or when they have to take tight corners. So just bear that in mind. Thanks for your time now, YouTubers. Speak to you soon.